They say behind every successful man is a woman. Well, sometimes she's right next to him counting her billions, while we count what's left before payday. Mackenzie Scott turned heartbreak into billions. Abigail Johnson manages more money before lunch than you'll see in a lifetime. Julia Koch inherited enough billions to make trust fund babies jealous. And Savitri Jindal runs an empire so massive that your 9 to 5 feels like a lemonade stand, ready to feel broke. Let's dive into the wealthiest wives in the world. Françoise Bettencourt. Myers, $75 billion. Françoise Bettencourt-Meyer, wife of Jean-Pierre Myers and granddaughter of Eugene Isn't Schuller. Just married to money, she is money. She is heiress a billionaire to the L'Oreal throne and possessor of a net worth that dances around the $100 billion mark. It's not just monopoly money. It's buying a small country and renaming it after your favorite shade of lipstick. Kind of money a 33% stake in L'Oreal generates enough dividend income to make a Swiss banker sweat with Born envy. In 1953, Françoise didn't just inherit She inherited a legacy of chemical innovation with the kind of money you don't just misplace under a couch cushion. Following her mother's passing in 2017, Françoise's coffers swell. But it wasn't just passive inheritance. Smart investments and L'Oreal's robust performance fueled the surge. In 2023, L'Oreal's revenue hit 41 billion euros, proving that people will always pay for the promise of eternal youth, or at least fewer wrinkles. She's not just hoarding wealth. She's making headlines for giving it away. The $2.6 million pledge to Notre Dame was a statement. Yes, I'm richer than Croesus, and I care about preserving cultural heritage. That's enough to rebuild the cathedral in gold leaf and still have spare change for a decent bottle of Bordeaux. Françoise Bettencourt. Myers isn't just a name on the Forbes list. She's a powerhouse, a board member steering a global empire, a major shareholder raking in dividends that could fund a small nation, and a philanthropist with the means to make a real difference, or at least generate some good PR. So next time you reach for that L'Oreal mascara, remember you're contributing to the fortune who could probably buy and sell your entire life. This places her among the wealthiest women globally. Financial stratosphere, where the air is thin and the shopping sprees are legendary. Born Julia Flesher on April 12, 1962 in She's Indianola, not just a Iowa. Socialite. She's a former model with a Bachelor of Science from the University of Central Arkansas. Before inheriting a 42% stake in Koch Industries, she worked for fashion designer Adolfo, even fitting clothes for Nancy Reagan. Talk about a glow-up. Julia met David on a blind date in 1991, marrying him 5 years later. It's a classic tale. Iowa girl makes it big in NYC, marries a billionaire and inherits an empire. They have 3 children. Industries. Source of her immense wealth is the second largest privately held company in the U.S., with interests spanning energy, chemicals, and manufacturing. It's the kind of diversified portfolio that makes financial advisors and environmental activists shudder. Since David's death in 2019, Julia has taken on a more prominent role in philanthropy, serving as president of the David H. Koch Foundation. The foundation channels funds into health and education. A multi-billion-dollar fortune. She's had a trajectory that would make Cinderella jealous. While Julia Koch built her legacy through industry and philanthropy, Jacqueline Mars proves that sometimes the sweetest fortunes come wrapped in chocolate and caramel. Jacqueline Mars, $42.5 billion. Jacqueline Mars, while not currently a wife because she's been divorced twice, proves that you don't need a husband to build a candy empire. Though being born into one certainly helps as heiress to the Mars Inc. fortune. She's sitting pretty with a real-time net worth of $42.4 billion. That's enough to buy approximately 84.8 billion Snickers bars, though we doubt even she could eat that many. Born October 10th, 1939. Jacqueline is the granddaughter of Frank some buttercream candies. One can only imagine the sugar rushes at family gatherings. She graduated from Brigham Young College with a degree in anthropology, which probably comes in handy when trying to understand the primal urges that drive people to consume mass quantities of chocolate. Jacqueline joined Mars in 1982, and candy erases have a soft spot for things that aren't made of sugar. Though we suspect she still sneaks a Snickers bar every now and then. Her estimated net worth fluctuates depending on which index you consult. Bloomberg Billionaires Index estimated her net worth at $46.6 as of November 2023, while Forbes estimated her fortune at $38.3 billion in its 2023 ranking of the richest women. Either way, she's in the top echelon of the world's wealthiest individuals. As of February 12, 2025, Forbes estimates her real-time net worth at $42.4 billion. Jacqueline Mars is a force in the business world, a quiet philanthropist, and a reminder that sometimes the sweetest things in life come with a multi-billion-dollar inheritance. And while the rest of us are staying extra for that fun-sized Snickers, she's probably got a lifetime supply in her mansion, alongside a stable full of horses and a very good dental plan. While Jacqueline Mars built an empire on candy. The next is making waves by giving their fortune faster than they earned it. Mackenzie Scott Fifth, 1970 in San Francisco. She's not just a billionaire. She's a novelist with a degree in English from Princeton University. She even worked alongside Bezos at DeShaw, a hedge fund where she was reportedly the one he tasked to conduct her interview in the initial rounds before they embarked on their Amazon adventure. It's a meet cute that screams corporate synergy. In 1993, the couple married and quit their jobs to start Amazon. After 25 years of marriage, 3 sons, and an adopted daughter from China, Jeff and Mackenzie announced their split in January 2019. The detail that stands out that they didn't sign a premarital agreement, and the logic is simple. Amazon hadn't come into existence when they tied the knot. The divorce settlement was the stuff of legends. Scott walked away with roughly $38.3 billion in Amazon which stock, amounted to a 4% stake in the company. That's enough to make anyone's conscious uncoupling feel like a financial windfall. After parting ways with Jeff Bezos, Mackenzie Scott fell in love with a science teacher named Dan Jewett, and they got married in March 2021. It was shocking for everyone to giving generously. She's rewriting the narrative of the divorced billionaire, one donation at a time, and while Elon Musk might have taken a jab at her philanthropic endeavors, Scott seems unfazed, continuing her mission to give away her fortune with the kind of zeal that makes the rest of us feel woefully inadequate. Moving forward, we have a billionaire who proves you don't need a husband to build an empire. Abigail Johnson, $39.8 billion. Abigail Johnson proves that you don't need a husband to command a fortune. That would make Croesus himself blush. She is married to Christopher McCown, co-founder and president of a healthcare information company. As the chairperson and CEO of Fidelity Investments, she's calling the shots on a $39.8 billion empire. Born on December 19, 1961, Abigail inherited good genes and a knack for finance. Her grandfather founded Fidelity Management and Research, so you could say she was born with a silver stock certificate in her mouth. She earned a bachelor's degree in art history because even billionaires need to appreciate a good Rembrandt. She then wisely got an MBA. Abigail has also brought Fidelity into the cryptocurrency game, enabling institutional investors to trade Bitcoin and Ethereum. Abigail Johnson shows that sometimes the best way to build a fortune is to inherit a good head for and business, a family legacy that's already worth billions. And while the rest of us are struggling to balance our checkbooks, she's probably figuring out how to spend her next billion, all while married and with 2 children. While Abigail Johnson is shaping a financial empire, the next story shows how a woman built her fortune with a mix of inheritance and business savvy. Savitri Jindal, $34.3 billion. Savitri Jindal, widow of the late Op Jindal and chairperson emeritus of the Op Jindal Group, proves that sometimes the best way to climb the Forbes list is through a combination of inheritance, shrewd business acumen, and perhaps a little bit of considering steel. The family's core industry. As India's wealthiest woman, she commands a net worth of $34.3 billion, a figure that could make even the most seasoned Maharajas clutch their pearls born on March 12th. Power, cement, and infrastructure. It's the kind of portfolio that makes financial analysts drool. And environmentalists, well, perhaps not. The group's companies were divided among her 4 sons, each managing a distinct segment, proving that even billionaire families have to figure out sibling dynamics. When dividing the spoils, Jindal has also dabbled in politics, serving as a minister in the Haryana government and a member of the Haryana Vidhan Sabha. She even lost her seat in the 2014 elections. A humbling experience that proves even billionaires aren't immune to the whims of the electorate. While she may be the richest woman in India, Jindal also shares the global spotlight with other female financial titans like L'Oreal heiress Betancourt Myers and Walmart's Alice Walton. It's the kind of company that makes you wonder what their book club discussions are like. So whether she's navigating the complexities of the steel industry or maneuvering the treacherous waters of Indian politics, Savitri Jindal is a force to be reckoned with. She is also the president of Maharaja Agrasen Medical College, Agraha. She proves that even after it runs a cool $32 billion figure, so large it could make even the most seasoned high roller question their life choices. Born Miriam Farbstein in 1945 in what was then mandatory to Holocaust survivor parents, she's not your average housewife of Las Vegas. She earned a Bachelor of Science in Microbiology and Genetics from the Hebrew University of Jerusalem and a medical degree from Tel Aviv University's Sackler Medical School before becoming a casino queen. She was a chief internist in an emergency room at Tel Aviv's Rocham Hospital hospital. Talk about a career change, from saving lives to counting chips. Miriam met Sheldon in 1989 at Rockefeller University while she was specializing in drug addiction. Apparently, even billionaires need love, or at least someone to share their gambling empire with, and maybe offer some medical advice. After a particularly rough night at the tables, they married in 1991. The Adelsons were major players in Republican politics, donating sums that could make a seasoned lobbyist blush. Miriam served as a finance vice chair for Donald Trump's inauguration. What's a fortune without a little media influence? It's like owning all the hotels in Monopoly and then buying the newspaper to write glowing reviews. She is also the majority owner of the Dallas Mavericks basketball team with her son-in-law, Patrick Dumont. Miriam Adelson isn't just sitting on her billions. Through the Adelson Foundation, she and Sheldon contributed hundreds of millions to Jewish and Israeli causes. Because when you're that rich, you can afford to be philanthropic, or at least improve your public image. The Adelsons have collected approximately $10 billion in sand and even staved off bankruptcy for the company in 2008 by contributing $1 billion. So whether she's saving souls from addiction or influencing presidential elections, Miriam Adelson is a force to be reckoned with. She proves that money can't buy happiness, but it can buy a lot of other things, including political influence, media empires, the Dallas Mavericks, and maybe even a slightly better chance of winning at blackjack, while Miriam Adelson continues to shape her empire. Next, we have Iris Fontbona, who turned a strong marriage into a powerful dynasty. Iris Fontbon Dean and he was a slightly less jailbaity. They married the following year, launching her into a world of copper mines and complex financial dealings. For much of her early life, Fontbona's involvement in the business was primarily behind the scenes. She became stepmother to Andronico's 5 children. Fontbona inherited her wealth after her husband's death in 2005, becoming the majority stockholder in Antofagasta, one of the world's biggest copper mining companies. This instantly made her the richest person in Chile, a title she continues to hold today. Her son, Jean-Paul Luksic, manages Antofagasta, one of the largest mining companies in the world. 3 male children took over the different parts of the business empire, but her business acumen doesn't stop there. Fontbona also controls, through Quinenco, Banco de Chile Madeco, a copper products manufacturer, the country's largest brewer. CCU and shipping giant CSAV, the world's 16th largest shipping company by TEU. She owns luxury hotel chains and a luxury resort in Croatia. And if she gets bored with all that, she also in Catholic faith. Fontbona has made significant contributions to philanthropy in Chile, including record donations to the Chilean Telethon, which helps children with physical disabilities. She donated $1 billion in 2015 and $4 billion in 2016, setting new records for the charity event. Next up, we have Susan Clutton, who's shaping Germany's economy $1 billion at a time. Susan Clutton, $24.1 billion. Susan Clinton isn't just someone's wife. She's the financial engine of a significant chunk of Germany's economy, proving that some legacies are built, not just inherited. Armed with a reported net worth of $24.1 billion, this woman's financial footprint is larger than many small nations, while various sources offer slightly different estimations. Her consistent ranking as Germany's wealthiest remains unchallenged. Born Susan Hannah Ursula Quandt on April 28, 1962. She's an automotive royalty by birthright. Her father, Herbert, famously rescued BMW from the brink, transforming it into the global powerhouse BMW, owning roughly 21.7% of its common shares, and the chemical giant Altana. She played a pivotal role in transforming Altana into a world-class player, and ultimately acquired the majority of its shares, beyond cars and chemicals. Clinton also holds shares in the graphite manufacturer SGL Carbon, credit card security firm DataCard, and turbine developer Nordex, demonstrating a portfolio as diverse as it is lucrative. Susan's accomplishments haven't gone unnoticed. She received the Bavarian Order of Merit in 2007. She was also named an honorary senator of the Technical University of Munich in 2004 and received an honorary degree from the University of Buckingham. In 2022 and 2017, she received $504 million for her 20.9% of the shares. Despite her public profile, Clinton values her privacy. Her life hasn't been without drama, including a high-profile blackmail attempt in 2007. Susan Clinton is a powerful force in the business world, a reminder that intelligence determining sand into gold, while some sources credit her with a combined net worth of $750 million with her husband. Other reports estimate her personal wealth to be around $35 million. Let's just say she's comfortable. Even if she's not personally funding Jordan's GDP, at least she won't be clipping shopping coupons anytime soon. Born Rania Al Yassin in Palestinian parents on August 31st, 1970. She's not just a pretty face in a tiara. She's a tech-savvy royal who knows her way around a spreadsheet. Before marrying into royalty, she worked in marketing at Citibank and later at Apple in Amman. Talk about a career upgrade. She met Prince Abdullah bin al-Hussein at a dinner party in January 1993 and married 6 months later. It was a whirlwind romance that culminated in a lifetime of royal duties and designer wardrobes since ascending to the throne in 1999. Queen Rania has become a global icon, known for her humanitarian work, advocacy for education, and impeccable style. She champions progressive causes in education, women's empowerment, and youth development. However, it is important to consider that around a quarter of Jordan's population lives in poverty, so perhaps those oceanfront estates come with a side of slightly awkward optics. She has received numerous awards, such as a Life Achievement Award from the International Osteoporosis Foundation, because strong bones are essential for wearing heavy jewels. In 2008, she received the very first YouTube Visionary Award, proving she was a trendsetter before TikTok was even a twinkle in Zuckerberg's eye. Whether she's hobnobbing with world leaders or championing the rights of Jordanian youth, Queen Rania has carved out a role for herself as a modern, forward-thinking royal. And while the exact size of her personal fortune may be debated, one thing is clear: she's living a life that most of us can only dream of, while trying to make the world a slightly better place. And if that's not a winning combination, what is last, but certainly not least? We have Queen Saleha, whose royal life is a dazzling spectacle of wealth and power. Queen Saleha, wife of Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah of Brunei, isn't just married to royalty. She became the Raja Istri, queen consort, succeeding her mother-in-law. Living in Istana Nurul Iman, the Sultan's palace, Saleha enjoys the perks of a residence boasting 1,888 rooms, 257 bathrooms, and a banquet hall that could comfortably seat a small nation. The palace itself is estimated to be worth $1.4 billion, decked out with gold, marble, and enough chandeliers to make Liberace blush. The palace can hold 1,500 people in its mosque, has a stable for 200 polo ponies, and even a Renoir painting the Sultan bought for $70 million in the 1980s. When his friends thought the house might be too over the top, he just built another one. While the Sultan's lavish spending habits, including a car collection of over 7,000 luxury vehicles, including 600 Rolls-Royce, are legendary, Queen Saleha maintains a sense of quiet dignity, even as she likely has a walk-in closet larger than most apartments. As polygamy is permitted in Brunei, Saleha remains the queen consort. It's not all about tiara.